Ah, it's January 2020. It's a new year for new movies, and it's January. January. Now, as you know, January, this is the time of year. January is the month where Hollywood, or the film industry, as people are calling it, dumps a lot of trash, dumps a lot of trash and garbage movies, like real shitty movies. I don't remember every. I don't remember. I haven't counted all of them, but I do remember Texas Chainsaw back in 2013. Texas Chainsaw, 3D. Last year, 2019, we had Escape Room, which I haven't seen and I will never see. Something tells me I will eventually, one day in the future. But anyway, we have The Grudge. Now, The Grudge, this movie is a reboot of the 2004 American movie, which, funny story, because the Grudge 2004 remake, American remake, was created by the same person, the same guy who made the original Japanese movies. So it's a funny connection. But anyway, the Grudge 2020, this movie, and it's basically, the plot of this movie is basically it's basically the same or similar plot of the first 2004 to the first 2004 Grudge movie. First, the movie opens up and there's like these words that it says, there's a curse and people die. This curse, is brought to surface when someone dies, or when someone dies and because they feel utter sorrow or rage. And just like the 2004 American remake, this 2020 reboot is doing the exact same thing by doing it in a non-linear. The story is in a non-linear order, with all these plots and events coming together near the end. So, there really isn't nothing much. There really isn't nothing much else to say for this movie. This probably might be the shortest movie review I've ever done. Like I said, there really isn't nothing to this movie. This movie is basically doing the same thing that the 2004 movie done, and maybe one day I will review the 2004 movie, the American remake one, which starred Sarah Michelle Gellar. But anyway, there really isn't, like I said, there really isn't nothing much to it. This movie, oh my god, this movie was incredibly boring. Was incredibly boring. It's not boring to like a snail's pace. It's not boring, like, I'm not like scratching my eyes out. I'm not scratching my eyes out like, please move on. Either move on or end this movie. No, I'm not like that, but the pacing, yeah, like, I don't really know. I don't think it's the pacing. More like the acting. The acting was terrible. Pretty much a majority of the cast in this movie felt really somber. They talked very somber. They talked, is she dead? I don't know. What? What is that? What? Huh? They just talked very somber, and it felt like, I don't know what happened. I don't know. It felt like the actors just woke up. Just woke up in the morning. It felt like the actors just woke up or needed caffeine, or it felt like they got the souls sucked out of them. Like, it felt... it felt like they weren't trying. It felt like they weren't trying enough. Not only that, and speaking of the acting, the actor who played the little boy Oh my god, that is probably the little boy in this. The little boy, the boy, the son who's like, I'm pretty sure the son of the detective, whatever. I don't give a shit. But the little boy in this movie, his acting is probably the most horrific and horrendous child acting I've ever seen in my entire life. It was so awful. Like, there was no emotion. He had no emotion on his face. There's no emotion. There's no emotion on his face. There's no emotion in his speech, like in his dialogue. Who cast the kid? Who cast this kid? Let me see here. Oh yeah, and another thing about this movie is an over reliance of jump scares. There are a couple jump scares in this movie, but in the 2004, but in the 2004 American remake, which I saw like maybe a few days ago, that movie, yeah, there were like maybe two or three jump scares. Yeah, there are like two or three jump scares in the 2004 American Grudge movie, but there wasn't like an over reliance of them. I felt like that movie relied heavily on. I felt like that movie was very simple. It was a very simple movie, but I liked it. I liked it because even though it was simple, even though it's simple, I feel like this movie was relying on jump scares, while that movie was relying on creepy imagery, shadows, there's shadows in the background, the shadows in the background, there's some creepy, disturbing imagery. It actually, and I'll admit, those imageries actually shocked me. Like, I was like, it shocked me or surprised me. But this movie, it's becoming a trope. I guess it's a trope. Jump scares. It's a trope. It's a cliche. It's something we should all suspect in every single horror movie for the rest of the future. I don't know if there's going to be a year where they're going to stop doing horror, where they're going to stop. I don't know if there's going to be a year where they're going to stop doing jump scares. I think they're just going to keep doing jump scares because it's the easiest way to frighten the viewers, to frighten the audience. But anyway, there's like an over reliance amount of it. But yeah, like this movie had a story. Like, there's actually a story to this movie. But in the 2004 one, I didn't really feel that. I didn't really feel it. I didn't really feel a story. But it doesn't need to be a story. Like I said, it was a simple movie. There was little story, more. It was less story, more creepy imagery and disturbing background and all that, which really worked. But this movie, it tried to have stories. There's like a guy and his wife. His wife is pregnant and they're expecting a child. And then there's like this old woman, and then there's this old woman, and then this therapist, and then this old woman and her husband, and then there's this who also has a therapist, and then you have the detectives, and then you have another story going, and then you have another couple, and then you got a woman who's it's just it tried to have a story, but it failed really badly. It felt really bad. It just didn't work out at the end. But I wouldn't say this movie is 100% complete shit. Like, it's not complete garbage. There are like maybe two or three. There were two moments. All right, there were two moments that actually I did like. Out of all the acting in this movie, I felt like the actress who played the detective, the main character of who's the main character of this movie. I felt like, even though it wasn't the best, I feel like she was trying to give some effort. So I'll give her that. I'll give her that. And then there were two scenes that it actually got me. Not like it wasn't jump scares. It wasn't jump scares, but it made me did whisper. It made me did whisper out loud. Oh shit! Like it really, actually I admit that it actually made me say that. But that's pretty much it. I mean, there really isn't. I mean, everything else is just boring, and I wonder what horror movie. Oh my god, bless me. I wonder what horror movie is gonna be is gonna be released in 2021. Oh my god. So anyway, that's it for the Grudge 2020 movie. Let me know what you thought about this movie if you've seen it. Oh my god. I think I'm getting a cold. I think I'm getting a cold. Gotta stay healthy. Stay healthy, stay safe. Okay. But anyway, like I said before, I was interrupted by my sneezing. Let me know what you thought about this movie. If you've seen it, I don't blame you. If you haven't seen it, don't see it. I don't care. Whatever. And if you enjoy this video, please, if you like, please, if you want, like this video, comment, share your thoughts, share your opinions to their deepest, fullest opinion, share your opinion to the deepest detail. Share this video with your friends and family. Really, it'll help my channel. And most importantly, subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video.